welcome back to the Director's Garage. Nothing but net, people. Nothing but net. I'm your host and resident idiot, Michael, and today we're going to be doing a mystery What's in the Box episode, meaning we're going to open this thing. I have no clue what it is. Some people call me clueless all the time.
Okay.
All right, guys. These are my very favorite episodes to do, so stick around. Now, this mystery box was sent to us from our fine friends at Audio46.com, folks, and this timing could not be better. With CanJam New York happening, it's the perfect time to showcase New York's finest personal audio superstore. Audio 46 is the place to go when you're looking for that next big obsession. And Lord knows we've all got them. Okay, whether it's the new Vision Ears Phonics or the amazing Noble Audio Viking Ragnar, Audio 46 has everything you could possibly want, from source to DAC to headphone. The guys there are super knowledgeable and friendly. They are audiophiles just like us. They ship fast and free, and here is the best part. Now, if you use our coupon code link below, Director's Garage, that's all one word, put that in at checkout, you can knock an extra 5% off most of the items they stock. And at today's prices, I'm telling you, it adds up really fast. And you all have used that code to purchase some $70,000 worth of gear. This stuff really does work, folks. And you're supporting a local business while giving a little bit of love back to this show. Audio 46 is simply the best in the business, and it's the place I go when I'm looking to pick up that next review item.
What's in the box?
So here's how this works. Audio 46 sends me an item. I have no idea what is in this thing. It could be a $50 item. It could be a $500 item. It could be a $5,000 item. Remember, we got the Noble Sultan. How amazing was that? Well, we're going to open this live on the show. It's some live action for you. And with that, I think it's time to grip it and rip it, folks. Efficiency and progress is ours once more. Now that we have the neutron bomb, it's nice and quick and clean and gets things done. Away with excess, enemy. You got that one? It's a little obscure, okay? That's Kill the Poor by the Dead Kennedys. Yeah, I'm going punk today. Well, let's hope we don't get punked by what's inside this thing. What do you think it is? It feels a little bit in the IEM space for some reason. I don't know. It's not a massive package. I'm not saying that it couldn't be an over-ear. It just doesn't seem all that likely. I'm just checking this thing out. It feels a little on the heavier side, though, so I think it's something substantial. Yeah, I rarely get let down by these things. It's always something really interesting, whatever it is. All right, folks, I think we're there. I think it's time. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Oh, we got ourselves, well, it looks like it's kind of looking like a final. It is. It's a final. I think they sent us a couple of things, guys. We got ourselves a daily double. All right, let's check out the first thing. Okay, we've got ourselves the Final Audio A5000. Now, I've reviewed a Final Audio IEM on this show before, but we'll have to check these out and see what they are. But let's dig deeper and find out what else is in here. Oh, we got ourselves a Beyerdynamic. Look at this. Whoa. Beyerdynamic. It's the Xelento wireless second generation. Guys, I've never heard of these things. Well, Beyer always makes interesting products, and they're usually really warm, and they've got good bass. I'm really excited about this one. This is the one I'm really curious about, but we also have this Final A5000. Let's get into it. All right. First thing is, oh, we got ourselves, this is a final case. This is a traditional final rubberized case. I have seen this before. And then you've got, oh, these are tiny. These are tiny little babies. Look at that. All right, all right. Yeah, I have not reviewed these. The last set I had of these were much larger than this. These are tiny little guys. They feel really, good. Although there's a couple of sharp edges here. I think if you had small ears, these things could probably get on your nerves a little bit if they're banging into your ears. I have big Dumbo-sized ears, so I'm not quite so worried about it. Very cool, though. Very cool. Wow, I can't wait to check these out. We'll head these up first. I'm going to have to rig up an IEM listening station. Now, this thing is all silicone, this case here. It's very cool. Kind of like a bladder. I think you could use it for hot water or something. And then down here you get, it looks like an ear clip. If you wanted to secure these better to your ears, you would put these on the back of the device and it would kind of hang over your ear and give you a little support there. And then you get a nice set of ear tips. Of course, Final makes some of the best ear tips in the world, so you're going to have a good selection here. Of course, I'm going to use my own because I don't like giving people my ear goo. I don't know about you. It's just something I don't want to do. All right, folks, I fit my TENNMAK turbos to these things because I think I'm going to need a little help keeping them in. And those are linked in the description below. They're just kind of a get-me-over pair of tips. I really like them, and I think it's time we give these things a listen. Let's go to a sound impression.
Sound impression.
And I'm going to get things started with some Neil Young today. I'm going to go to the Harvest record, and this is Heart of Gold. And some great acoustic work in here, nice bass, and a harmonica that just kind of sets the feels for things. And I got to tell you, out of the gate, I am quite impressed by these. Need a little more gain. Well, it's interesting. When I went to high gain, it felt like I was distorting these. And then when I went to medium gain, it really wasn't enough. I'm pinned to 100. The fundamentals of this headphone are pretty good. There's a nice solid bass, and there's good clarity, especially because these have the tone of a dynamic. I'm assuming this is a dynamic driver. I don't know anything about them. But what I would say is this, they seem to get confused a lot. I'm getting a lot of congestion in the mids and in the upper frequencies. But there's a really nice image on these, and actually an exceptional soundstage. These sound a lot wider than I would have expected for how tiny they are. They are not efficient at all. Like, I'm throwing some power at them, and I'm giving them a lot, and they're not, and the loudness is not really there. At the same time, they have a little bit of an overdriven character to them. They get a little crunchy and congested. I got kind of a mixed feeling about these. I have a hunch these aren't terribly expensive. I'm gonna go to something exceptionally clean. Let's go to Muddy Waters Folk Singer. This is an acoustic track. It's Muddy in a studio with an acoustic guitar and just playing like great Chicago blues. This is much better, actually. This is just Muddy in a studio with a guitar, and you can pick up a lot of detail retrieval on this. I think these are treble accentuated, because I can hear little things like the chair is creaking, and I can hear the fingers on the strings, but this is not like a product of speed. This is a product of treble being boosted. But it's good. It's interesting. There's a lot of detail here. These aren't my favorite headphones. I'm going to say that right away. But I want to try some other stuff too. Let's go right next door to this. I'm going to go to Folklore. I want to hear some pop music and hear how these things respond. There is a lot of treble here, and it does get a little bit on the sibilant side. Much like me. And there's a good sub, but it seems like the mid bass kind of drops out on this. See, now this has got the upper mids accentuated. I'm not getting that distortion I was getting under Neil Young. This is a very interesting set of headphones. They're not in my lane. I just don't. I feel like they're dropping parts of the spectrum out. And I have a sense that there's some stuff missing from this song. I'm listening to Cardigan by Taylor Swift now, and there's more to this song. Like, this song kicks way deep, and it's very emotional and moody. And I'm not feeling that from these. It's like they're cutting some of the bass out, and they've really cranked up the treble on this thing. Yeah, let's stop right here. I'm okay with this. I think if I have to guess, I'm going to guess that these are in the $150 range. I'm going to guess that they're a dynamic driver. They kind of have that thump down low, but they're like over-tuned in the treble in an area where a dynamic. I'm guessing it's a single dynamic driver too, and I just think that the way these are coming across, they're really pushing the treble to make up for a deficiency in the dynamic driver, and the result is it's actually not that bad a sound. And I can see these for maybe like subway driving, and they're kind of, but the construction isn't very good. The cable, nice plugs on these, but the cable itself, it is a weave, which is nice to see always, but it's a very thin weave. It doesn't feel like it's got a lot of weight to it. The pieces themselves are really small. I just think if these things cost what I think they cost, there's probably going to be better out there for the price, but we'll see. I want to stop and move to the next thing, because this headphone right here, the Beyerdynamic Xelento, it's a great name. I love the name. Xelento wireless. But there's wires on the cover. Look at the wires. Is it wired or is it wireless? Let's dig in. All right, these look like it's a sleevey case. Sleevey case. There's no tomorrow. Wow! And we've got ourselves a nice little slip case here. It looks like a slip case. Yeah, it's got to be, right? No, it's... What is going on here? Look at this. Look at this. It's like a puzzle of some kind. Oh, look at that. I love this. This is creative shit right here. Look at this. They go in two directions at once. Ready for this? Wow. It's like the presenting of the IEM. I love this. This is forward thinking, Beyerdynamic. Of course, the slip card is upside down, which tells me they likely loners. Okay, let's flip it around and we'll do a reveal. And wow, holy smokes, look at the tiny little, these are like diamond earrings. Look at this. Look at how tiny these are. This is the headphone? Oh, these would get lost in about 30 seconds. Okay, MMCX connectors. They've got a nice oval screen down here. I don't know if any of my proprietary tips are going to fit this thing, but let's dig deeper. Wow. Oh, wow. So there's quite a little presentation going on here. Look at all this stuff. A nice little case here. Look at this case. Oh, it's got a neck. This is the wireless portion. So you slip these on MMCX, and then this Bluetooths in to whatever it is you're going to listen to. I've seen one other IEM like this before, and they're okay. They're kind of more sports oriented, I think, but we'll give them a shot. Why not? If that's what they want to do with them. And what else is in the box is you've got the wireless case right here that the thing folds into. You've got some documentation down here, and I would imagine these are tips. Oh, look at the tips. But again, these are proprietary because of that oval situation going on with the buds themselves. And then what's over here? What's this little guy right here? This is... clips to hold it in place on you, and an extra screen. Okay, that's kind of nice. Always nice to go. And then you got a little polishing cloth down in the bottom of that too. All right, so you got a nice little package here. Interesting. I want to hear what these are. I want to hear what these sound like, and I think I'm going to go wired first because I can, and it's all set up for that. All right, I've got these things somewhat sorted. Let's go and try and get some sound out of them. Do I have them on the right way? It's so odd when these things are this small. And for the hell of it, I'm going to go right back to that Taylor Swift track to get us... Holy shit! Oh my God! Holy God. Yeah, these are a million times more efficient than the final audio. Can I tell you? Because I had the same volume set up and it would just blasted me. Ooh, that's not good. That'll set off the tinnitus. All right, out of the gate, these are more well-rounded, even tuning. throughout the they don't actually sound as fast as the finals, but it's a more solid bass, not as fast at all. There's a boom to them, but in general I would say these things are a little more pleasing to my ears. Not a lot of euphoric treble nuance happening in this, whereas the final audio seemed to have a lot of detail up top and stuff that really would excite your senses a little bit more. I don't sense the stage is as good on this, but it's a more pleasant tuning, a more neutral tuning. I'm going to challenge these a little bit. I'm going to go to some Elton John right now, and I'm going to use a beautiful track called Mellow off of Honky Chateau. See, now these have a little more, they're a little nicer on the top end. There's some nice detail coming through. The bass has got a lot of bloat to it, there's no question. But it's a solid full bass that's kind of fun. Not my favorite tuning ever because of all that bloat down low, but I like a lot of bass presence. I naturally like a lot of bass. And the treble seems nice and adequate in this. The mids are fairly filled in. It's got a V tuning. It's a consumer tuning. I got no problem with that. I don't think these are trying to be something they're not. I find these more enjoyable than the final audios myself. I think the final audios were too uneven through the tuning. Although they had great detail and some speed down low, I'm going to put these as a little more expensive. Primarily because you're introducing this, and I don't know how much this stuff runs. All right, let's pause here. Much better start for me on the Beyerdynamics. Really, still, these things, guys, these are just... Here's my Noble K10 next to these things. I mean, like, there is no compare. Look how much bigger. This is the K10, which is a small IEM, balanced armature IEM. Look how tiny this is. Look how tiny that is. Ah, it's amazing. It's just amazing. The size of these would tell me that we're looking at balanced armatures in here. I'll be surprised if there's something more. These things are so small, and I don't think you could even fit a dynamic driver into the size of this housing. So that's my guess. Now I'm going to pause here, and we're going to go to a Bluetooth setup. So go to Tidal. I'm going to go to some Stevie Wonder and get these things cranked up. Now, sound good. It's good Bluetooth connection. Really nice. I actually like the Bluetooth a little better. It doesn't sound as aggressive in the bass. Sounds a little like it's tighter a little bit in the bass under the Bluetooth. Like there's a little more control here. The detail sounds a little more enhanced on this, and I kind of like it. It's coming across as a really nice... The Bluetooth is the way to go on this. There's just no question. Everything about this sounds a lot better. I'm getting... it seems like a little more detail. The bass is tightened up a bit. It's not as dominant, and it's just retaining a little more information, it seems like to me, which is interesting, because normally the wisdom is... you go with the cable to test it, and then you go from there. Let's check out something else. I'm going to go to some Supertramp. Let's go to Crime of the Century, and let's hear how this thing does. There's Crime of the Century. I hear how this thing handles some dynamics, because this has got great dynamic range. Yeah. You know? This is great. For a pair of working out IEMs, if I'm looking for something I can kind of sweat in, move about in, provided these things are sweat proof, they sound good. And I'm guessing that they're BAs, but they're well tuned BAs. It's a nice tuning. It's a warm tuning, not too aggressive. They don't get terribly loud. It'd be nice if they were a little bit louder, but All the controls work. There's a little dongle off the ear. Comes out nicely. I'm going to actually move these up a little bit. I'm going to say these are maybe more in the 250 range. I'm actually quite impressed by these. More so than the finals. The finals were too finicky. I think I can stop it here. Yeah, I'm gonna pause right here. You know, we've gone through a few tracks now. These are nice. These are I would wear these to work out. My big concern is I'm gonna lose this. And also the cable here is wafer thin. Just tiny thin. We got to get some information, so now it's time for us to go to the computer and check out what's what. Audio 46 we go, and the first thing, I want to check out these Beyers real quick. Beyerdynamics, and we're looking for these right here. Holy shit. Well, they better sound good. Look at that price. Well, that's why I liked them. It's freaking expensive. Good God. Really? Now, I do like the way these sound. There's no question. Oh, and what's inside these things? We have high-end sound due to an 11mm Tesla sound transducer. That's one of those things, you know, Beyer has some technologies that are very proprietary with their stuff, and that's probably one of them. It's impressive, there's no question. And I was more drawn to this tuning than the final audio, which we'll look up in just a second. It certainly has the Bluetooth features, all of that stuff. At this price, at $1,200, my concern is this cable. This is really small and thin. I love the package of this. I like the sound of this. These got better the more I listened to them. I thought there was good detail. I thought that there was solid bass, much better under Bluetooth than under cable. On the cable, it sounded bloated to me. Once we went to the Bluetooth mode, things got a lot cleaner. All right, time to flip over to the final audio, and let's look up this A5000. I've listened, as I've mentioned, I've heard some final audio stuff before. These were just tiny little guys. I was pretty impressed with them. They're $279. All right, so I was off a little bit there. Let's see what we've got in these things. What are they sporting? It says it's an F-Core DU, which would be some sort of dynamic driver. And I actually am a little bit hesitant to give these things a review one way or the other, because I was experiencing some distortion, and I'm wondering if one of the other reviewers kind of, cranked it up a little bit too loud. Because it does sound a little bit like I was getting a little distortion in there, and knowing final products, they don't tend to do that. But I love the experimentation today. We got ourselves some fun Bluetooth experiment, and we got a nice dynamic driver, final audio, some great accessories along with all this stuff. I'm pretty blown away by both of these packages. I think both companies did a good job with it, and it's always fun to check out the new stuff. It's always fun to check out the new stuff, and I'm glad you guys got to check it out with me. So I got to start bringing this all home and try and make sense of it all. And what I would say is this. First of all, we got to thank Audio 46 for sending us two fun new products, really exciting stuff. So I don't think that the final audio A5000 or the Xelento wireless, I don't think either of these are bad products at all. I think there are redeeming qualities to both of them. But I also don't want to sugarcoat things, and at the $279 price point, I can't help but push you towards the 7 Hertz Timeless. It has redefined what performance means at that $250-ish level. And you owe it to yourself to check those out if you're considering something like this. I think you'll find that they're faster. I think you'll find they have a better image. I think you'll find they have a cleaner sub. And I think they're an overall better made product. And at $1,200, you can put that 7 hertz timeless together with a really good amp like a WA11 Topaz, an i-Fi Diablo, or an i-Fi IDSD signature, and I think you'll get better performance. If it's the Bluetooth that's hanging you up, I would tell you to make sure you check out the Noble wireless offerings. The Focus Pro has exceptional sound quality, and you can get the HANC model for a lot less, and it'll give you noise cancellation. And there's the new Mystique model that is getting a lot of praise. Make sure you're checking those out if it's the Bluetooth that you're after. All right, next up on the Director's Garage, I have my full sound check review of the ZMF Caldera. This is the longest time I've spent reviewing any headphone ever, and we're looking at a supersized episode for sure. So, get the popcorn out. It's going to be a long one, and I can't wait to share my thoughts for you on this spectacular piece of kit. I also have an unboxing episode coming up, a bunch of crap around here. We're just going to open some stuff up and check it out. Kind of fun, kind of short, just a good time. And I have my Records to Die For episode. These are records I use to evaluate and enjoy. So make sure you are subscribed to the Director's Garage. Hit all the buttons and stuff down below. Check out our Director's Garage sale while you're doing that. Some fabulous gear for sale, and a lot of it for a significant discount. Just shoot me an email, directorsgarage@gmail.com. Thanks for stopping by today, and I will see you before you know it.